Welcome to Open Fire, everybody. Thank you so much again for coming back to my channel, man. I love the attention that we're getting. And once again, just so you guys know, I make zero money from YouTube for doing this. I have no desire, I have no intention of ever. The whole goal of Open Fire Tactical is just to share some of my experiences with you that are willing to sit down and watch in your living rooms or your phones, wherever, and give you some unedited opinion. And I try to be, as level as possible. So I don't, favor one or the other over anything, if I'm making sense, if you guys know what I'm trying to say. So the last couple videos I did over the last 2 weekends was affordability versus expensive firearms. And just because you have, maybe indisposable funds, I don't know anybody that does, but some people do. And they can afford some very expensive firearms. That doesn't mean that you're going to be able to put your bullets on target, number one, or in the 10 ring, or anything, right? Because you have to put the work in. So you can't just come out to the range and expect to, score 10 rings all the time. I've been shooting for well over 50 years, and it just doesn't happen. I have good days, I have bad days, I have days where trying to zero a scope gets the better of me, and it is what it is. So you just try to, keep a level head, come out here and clear your head, and maybe come up with a scenario in your own mind, and then, put your skills to work. And if you don't have any skills, I would implore you to go to a gun range and get some proper training. So just from me to you, if you guys live out here in the Dayton, Nevada area, you can get a hold of me on my channel. And, if you want to learn how to shoot or whatever, you want to come out here and help me make a video, that'd be a lot of fun. Anyway, so what I'm talking about today is more affordability. This was actually zero cost to me. It's an old 22. It's made in the USA. It's H&R Incorporated. It's a 22 Magnum, and there's another cylinder for 22 long rifles. So this would actually be great for hiking, personal defense, if that's all you can afford. I think these things were in the neighborhood of like $100 when they were brand new. And my stepdad gave me this years ago. And it's just a cool old pistol. I like it. My wife has she's got a little camping bag, and she keeps this in there with Magnum loads in it, and this is a Bulldog holster. Pretty basic. And then I also brought out, which I've shot this on the channel before, it's my old cowboy pistol, but this is 45 long Colt. And the recoil is minimal. It doesn't seem like it's a lot to me, but you would have to make that decision on your own. If you're one of these ladies that likes to go out and go hiking by yourself, personally, I think you're kind of nuts. I would always go with a friend, whoever, it doesn't matter, right? And I would always go armed. I would never, under any circumstances, ever go into the woods without a firearm, without a knife, more than one, and a sharpener, and bear spray. The biggest can you can get, and keep that in a holster. So there's, mountain lions, there's bears, depending upon where you live, extremely vicious ones. Black bears, you can usually scare them away with loud noises, pots and pans, lids, bang, bang, and they'll run away. What they're doing is they're looking for food. On the flip side of that coin, if you live in an area like Montana, parts of Idaho, there's grizzly bears up there, and they will eat you. It is no joke. It is no joke. But the biggest animal that I fear the most is the two-legged types. And you know, you hear about these hikers that go up in the woods and they're never seen or heard from again. And it could be animals or it could be some scumbag that lives up there. So I would say go with a friend, arm yourself with the above mentioned, and have yourself a good time. And you know, and if it came down to it, you know, something practical like a 22 Magnum, if you were to run out of food, you could eat something until you get back to your place of start, right? So it's like, you know, I've had people tell me, what are you afraid of? And I say, I'm not afraid of anything. You know, I have an EDC, I have a concealed carry. The supermarket's 4 miles from my house, and I don't go there unless I'm strapped. I have a pistol on my hip, and that's just the way it is. And some people think that that's absurd. To me, driving without insurance is absurd. It's not like I'm looking to get into a car accident, but we carry it because there's drunk drivers and there's people that don't know how to drive. Plenty. So it is what it is. But anyway, let me pause the video, or actually let me flip it around. So I got my target there at 15 yards. I'm going to zoom in. And then we'll just put some bullets on target. I'm going to pause this and get it all squared away, and then I'll come back to you guys. And we'll start off with the 22 Magnum, and then I'll plug up those holes, and then we'll do the 45 Colt. So stand by just a second. All right, so here we go with the 22. And once again, also, you guys, it's just me and Bro out here on the gun range. We're completely alone. There is somebody, though, behind me, and they're probably, gosh, I don't know, 500 yards maybe away. And they're shooting into the hillside somewhere. But, you know, there's a range right here. And there's roads. And there's people on side-by-sides and quads. There's horses around here. So I don't know why they would do that, but, you know, whatever. So anyway, here we go. 22 Magnum, Harrington and Richardson. All right, 6 shots. Well, let's go see how we did. I'll just keep it rolling. And let me bring the zoom in. You know what? That's pretty phenomenal. So 5 in the X ring and a flyer, and that's in the 9. Pretty good. You know, and look at how much my stepdad paid for that. So that's just crazy to me. But once again, this just proves my point that you don't have to spend a ton of money to have a good firearm, one that will, number one, protect you. Number two, hopefully it'll dissolve the situation. But moreover, you know, preserve your life and the life of your family. So I'm going to pause it. I'm going to get zoomed in again, and then we'll do the 45 Colt. Stand by. All right, 45 Colt. Here we go. Five. I forgot I only put 5 bullets in here. So this has got a firing pin on the hammer, and that's the whole purpose of that, is safety purposes. So if you were to drop it, it won't go off. So, all right, you guys. Well, that's the video. That's all I got today. just messing around, just me and the dog bro, and having a good time, and giving you some of my opinions, some of my experiences, and whatever you guys think. So please feel free to, I'm not going to say that, like, share, and subscribe. I didn't want to say that, but comment. You know, tell me what you guys think, what I can improve on, what you want to see, what you don't want to see. Until then, I'm your host, Buttonhole. I appreciate you guys coming out here to the gun range with me and the dog bro. He's my bro. Have a blessed day. Open Fire Tactical out.